closer?
Okay, is this
You
better?
got corona, do you?
No, nigga, I
We're
don't.
black. We have melanin. Oh my.
I got melanin.
That don't mean nothing.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert got it.
Rudy Gobert.
Did they die?
Not yet.
Rudy Gobert.
Stop.
Rudy is not that black to me.
Rudy, just because he's from Europe?
We're good.
Or is he from Europe?
Okay, come on, y'all.
I think he like French or some shit. He black as hell.
Donovan
French.
Mitchell.
Can we do introductions and then talk about Corona, please?
Oh, sorry.
My fault. All right.
Welcome back to another episode of the CoLab podcast. I am, as usual, your host, Lauren Michelle.
Oh, Michelle.
What are you looking at? Look at the camera.
And I am the one and only name of Sony, aka Young Stealthy, aka Div, and aka
Young Stealthy.
Manny the Pony. And we have our guest, our wonderful guest. We have two of them today. Blessing y'all.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Orlando or Icon. Either one works. That's what's up.
I'm Jamal. What's going on?
This is you.
I want to look at y'all.
I know.
My name is Jamal. I go by Jay 2 times.
Oh, okay.
Not one, but two times.
Just get it right. Thank you, fellas, for joining us. We are really excited about today's episode.
It's all about music.
Yes.
Alright.
So because we do have, oh my gosh. So because we do have two phenomenal artists with us, which I think is great. I do kind of want to start off with how. A shot, yes. Let's take a shot. There we go.
Be like, shot.
Be on the show more often. Keep me grounded, Jamal.
It's a collaboration.
Please. Okay, but there we go. But I do want to get into how you guys started as an artist. How are you currently developing as an artist, and how you plan to progress as an artist as well.
You want to take that? You want to take that?
Shot, yes.
The question.
Because you straight up, you hit it with, like, I don't want to follow you. You know what I'm saying?
Question. We can shot first, though, if y'all want to.
Definitely shot.
Ooh, that's a big one. I'm sorry. Is that too big for you?
Pause. No.
Oh.
Super pause. Like,
Do something. Is that too big for you? You can't ask that to guys?
Nah.
Is that too
That's
big
big
for you?
too.
What is you doing back there, over there? Why your shot baby, but everybody else is not baby?
you do have a tiny ass shot.
Look, I don't.
And I'm little.
What we toasting to?
The CoLab.
The CoLab, baby.
My bad. I thought I got all y'all. My fault.
Yeah, we're in there.
Take mine too.
It's like
Take mine in 3.
What the Lauren?
baby juice.
She need a straw.
Is that
I do.
is that too big for you?
It is.
Sip on there. That's good.
Yeah, it is good.
We're not
Bacardi.
branded.
Yeah, Bacardi
But we're not
sponsor
actually?
us. Sponsor
They
us.
did.
No, I'm
sponsor,
telling them to
please.
sponsor
Oh.
us.
Yeah.
He said they
Bring the bottle back.
No,
We can act on it. We can get some
Was
good.
that grape or some shit? What was that?
it's
Or
mojito.
apple? That's what mojito.
Mojito.
Oh, that shit fruity as hell.
I got a
Okay,
peppermint after.
so
Excuse us.
go ahead. It's just alcohol aftertaste. So go ahead.
Mojito has peppermint leaves in it.
It's just mint leaves. It's not peppermint leaves.
Okay.
It's just.
I'm sorry. It's just
Go ahead,
leaves.
sir. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who's editing this?
So how you started as an artist? When did you realize that you really wanted to get into music?
I feel like you should do what you get acknowledged for and what you feel like you enjoy doing. So when I started getting accolades for it, I took it a lot more serious. I took it a lot more serious when niggas started showing me love.
Because I was just about to say project.
Yeah. So, and then word of mouth, I started writing and working with other artists on their projects, which is cool.
Okay, that's up. So do you believe that you have always had a natural love for music?
Yeah. The
And how old were
process.
How old were you when you started music?
Oh, back in my day,
Shut
I had CDs and
That's what's up.
Not cassette
18.
tapes, CDs.
I think it was
So
18
not too
when I
far
took
back
it
in.
serious.
You said 18?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
That's good. That's what's up.
And what about you, Mr. Icon?
Ooh, not say my name. That hit my ear. Oh nah, since I was a kid, I was like doing music. I think my first instrument was like the harmonica or some shit like that. And then
Stevie.
Mine was the recorder.
Mine too.
That's actually the only one I haven't touched. Like
The recorder?
I've never touched a recorder. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like I never had that shit in class or nothing. Like
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So was the harmonica more of a self-led thing, or was it kind of like your music class, everybody has to do it?
Nah, my pops is like music, everything,
Okay.
and my mom likes white music. So like,
So it's kind of a mix
I
of.
had to like, I had my little weird stint where I was like listening to Paramore and Tupac like within the same.
That ain't weird, baby.
Yeah. So like, I went from my pops put me on Stevie Wonder, who I think that's just like my favorite period. And from there, I went to the saxophone, then to the guitar, and started directing choirs and stuff like that. I started
That's
writing.
awesome.
And I just kept like going from there. So that's really what it is. When I started rapping, I was like 13, 14, something like that. When I started rapping seriously, it's only been like maybe 3 years completely. But I always was like a little nigga, and because I was the youngest in my little group, so like I would just have to keep up with everybody that was ahead of me.
Yeah.
And so like, damn, this little nigga nice, like yeah, nigga, like type shit. Like it was just all like, cause I'm quiet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the most part, like I be having my goofy moments and shit, but I'm quiet, so you know you got to kind of prove yourself in the circles I was in. So that's just how it kind of happened, and I just kept going. And
Yeah.
here we are, and we still got more time, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You had a second part though. What was your second question?
To be honest, I don't really remember, but I do have a new question for the both of you. What are some of the challenges that you feel you guys have faced trying to establish yourself? And I know you guys are established, but I mean like really get your foot in the ground to show yourself. And I ask that because I know the industry, of course there's different styles, but do you guys mainly classify yourself as like hip hop artists? How do you?
Well, it's a little different because when I started, like I said, like playing instruments and directing choirs and whatnot. So I had to like get to where people didn't know me for me to like, for my rap music to kind of take off. Cause like, oh, that's just that little nigga that be directing the choirs. That's just that little nigga that play the saxophone type shit. So like, nobody really took my music seriously for like the longest time. Honestly, up until shit, like I want to say like last year when I released Kickback Music was when people was like, oh, wait, you actually got something here. And it was because people that didn't know me was like fucking with it. Like my family and everything, we from Chicago, so that's where most of my, like when I look at my numbers and stuff, that's where most of my plays and stuff come from. Okay. But like I only know my family up there. You know what I'm saying? So like I guess they friends like, oh, you heard such and such? Oh shit, that's my cousin. Like, word? Nah, you lying, that's not your cousin type shit. That's how like my immediate circle started like hitting me up like, oh shit, what you
that's pretty awesome. Now within like, because I guess I'm not a rapper. Well, I am, but just, you know, underground, as an underground in my place of residency. But I could imagine me being a rapper. My biggest concern would be, okay, now times have changed from rap and what people actually listen to. And of course, you never want to be like, okay, well, I don't want to strictly do this because of what other people do, but more so what audience can I target. And I'm pretty sure you guys are men of not trash music, just rapping about a bunch of stupid shit, you know what I mean? But nowadays that's what it is turned to.
That's not really new though, for
it's also,
but it's more, it's become more popular and what people tend to shift to.
You have different niches. You could be a rapper that's emo and does rock rap, and you create your own niche. The most recent one is the country rap. I heard a dope artist, Rumor, RM.
Yeah, that group, that little sing, that it's like
sing like a country
it's like
song, but on some trap
4 or
shit.
5 of them, or
It's
something.
a whole lane that's open outside of like the Nas X one. So based off of what people listen to, if you're going off that, then I feel like you're trying to just make money. If you're a creative and you're just putting out music, then you're doing it for yourself. Like it's a real passion. So
Okay.
You gotta find a balance though. Like you can't just say such and such don't have a passion for it just because he make like niche music. You know what I'm saying? Because like the first, literally like the lyrics to like the first big hip hop song was hip hop, hippie to the hip hop. You don't stop your rock.
right.
What the fuck does that mean? You know what I'm saying? That don't mean
That's how
shit.
he's feeling. You know, that's
But
like
that's what I'm
hip-hop
saying.
is just.
But that's why you
It's the
can't.
same
That's why you
stuff.
can't discount the niche artists. That's what I'm saying. Like you know, because not to get too caught up on your technicalities and words and shit, but you was just like, if you're making that kind of music, you're just doing it for the money. There are artists that do that, but you can't like discount it. That's all I'm saying. That's just my.
You already have to go in with a plan if you're either going to be that type of artist with that type of audience, or I'm just doing it. Like I don't think Erykah Badu cares whether some people like her music or not, versus somebody that's just targeting even Justin Bieber. Not to name drop, but
Yeah.
you had people. You're telling millions of people to go and stream this over and over. It's just like, I mean, R&B's different too because you got a bunch of writers. I love the niche crowd because
It gets you hyped.
I have to write it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like you want a song like this, you want a song like that, you want a song like this person, you want Taylor Swift, you want Kendrick Lamar. It gives a bunch of different variety as a writer as well.
That's awesome. And I honestly never looked at music from that aspect. Once upon a time I was just like, oh, they just putting out trash just to make money. But that's not always the case. You know what I mean? Because people listen to it for a certain type of feel. So who's to say this artist doesn't put it out because that's the feel that he's feeling at that time? So I think for me, one of the things, because I'm a creative, I've been a creative for several years. And one of the biggest pieces of word that I've heard from several different people is who's your audience. That's the biggest question I've always heard. I'm like, why does it matter? I want everybody to be my audience. But until you hone down on one specific audience to target, that's when you can branch out, because you have to establish your foundation first. And like you said, sometimes people just jump in it balls deep and not having that vision of that in the back of their mind, and they're trying to branch out and do this, that, and the third before they have their foundation. And that's why I think most artists flop. Why am I listening to you and you don't even know what type of artist you are?
Right.
Because that's the impression that it gives.
People want to go viral.
Yep.
And going viral, you're trying to do something that happens on accident.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. So that's also a great point when you're looking at the industry in several different industries, but specifically the creative industry. You just have to figure out your niche.
Either.
Yeah, whatever.
I think niche is correct.
Yeah, you have to figure that out first, and then that's when you continue to gain your audience and your following, and then the rest will follow. If it's designed for you, then it'll happen regardless. So I think that was a great point. That was awesome. What is something that you guys notice from the perspective of being an artist that you've noticed in the music industry that just kind of is off-putting or offsetting, or even adversities in the music industry?
That's a good question.
Oh, thank you.
I dabble in behind the scenes a lot. So one thing that's been brought to a lot of attention now is credit for songwriters, royalties, making sure people are getting paid correctly. That's wasn't a thing at first. Like, it's just, you either get railroad. You hear stories like TLC and Jagged Edge or New Edition, and they're getting like pennies on the dollar for their shows, but it's different. I mean, people are still getting raped in their deals, but I like credit. I like when somebody is a part of something. Like if you look at Kanye's album, you get to see everybody that did something.
Yeah, he credited the people that gave him water. Like,
That is true. So
you were part of the process.
that's awesome. So that is a very behind the scenes. But for me, from my perspective, being someone who, of course, I love music, but I don't consider myself a musical artist. So I'm not as behind the scenes, but even something as surface level as, I'm not sure if you guys like have a TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of embarrassed about it.
No, I just got one.
But this shit is interesting. But
It's
even
actually
with
low-key
that,
funny,
all the songs that are blowing up, that's being repeated over and over, these people aren't getting their recognition for it. They're not. And if you think about it,
to a degree, they getting recognition in that TikTok crowd though, because like you can take. I think what you were alluding to was a dancer chick, right?
I'm not.
Or you talking about the music? That's what I'm asking.
The music,
because the artists,
the dancer,
they
of
TikTok
course,
counts for just streams.
But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about credit. I'm not talking about pay. I'm talking about credit. There are so many TikTok songs out there that I just listen to because that's catchy. But I don't know who it is. For instance, what's that Doja Cat song? Why don't you say? I didn't know that was that bitch till like yesterday. I shouldn't have called her a bitch because I think she was phenomenal, y'all. That is my girl. Like, I ride with that girl till the wheels fall off. But what I'm saying is, I didn't know that was her until literally like a week ago. And that song has been on repeat in TikTok forever. Since I've downloaded the TikTok. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
so
one good thing about just TikTok in particular,
Shazam.
you can see that little record.
Oh, I do that, but
you can see the little record at the bottom when they dance into the songs and shit. You can just click on it.
But a lot of times it's not the record itself. It's just whoever originally placed the video over that sound. So I can click on that and I can just go to the original person. Me being the first person that I use this one particular sound, because granted, like they might, I don't know how that works with streams, but let's say I grab that song, I grab that sound bite or whatever, and I place it on my video. Now I'm sitting there dancing, whatever. I post it. Whoever watches my video, they can click on use this sound. That doesn't go back to the original media that I played it from. My video is now getting credit for that. What I'm saying is visually. I don't know what goes behind the scenes as far as the media.
Behind the scenes, like if they want to use your sound, it will go off of your video.
Yeah.
If it's an original.
But it doesn't
sound.
always. What I'm saying is, it doesn't always say the artist or what song it is. It just says original sound in my account name because they technically use my sound instead of the soundbite that I initially used.
You got a TikTok?
That's interesting.
No, I do not.
Bro, you should download it. That shit is addicting.
I ain't gonna lie, man. TikTok. I used to like. I would never like shit on nobody, but I was like, I ain't gonna use TikTok. But someone actually put created my account.
Really?
Yeah, and was like, here you go. I was like, why? He said, because you got this, and you need to go ahead and just use TikTok. So here you go. And I was like,
exercise all platforms.
yeah, and that shit, it actually is doing a lot better than I expected.
Yeah,
but
so whatever
like,
the kids are doing, I need to hop on.
I let a kid do it.
TikTok.
I just let a kid, like one of my little cousins. Here
That's
you go.
awesome.
Just run it, do what you're doing.
It's
It's going pretty well. So I'm just
one thing I like about music is it keeps changing.
It evolves. Oh yeah.
Because before it was like MySpace rappers. You had like Soulja Boy, and then it went to YouTube rappers, SoundCloud.
I still don't listen to SoundCloud rappers, but
SoundCloud.
I think
They're still out there.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, and then now it's TikTok. They got people are blowing up off of TikTok.
Oh yeah.
For real.
Oh yeah.
What you about to ask? You about to say something?
I was just gonna say, who are your favorite artists right now?
That's the hard question for me because I listen to everything and everybody, so my favorite artists don't really like.
It's like favorite artists in different
Right
genres.
now, it's your favorite right now.
Yeah, it's like right now.
No, that's what I'm asking.
That's
That's what I'm asking. Cause like,
Continue.
She thought I said eat vagina. That's what she thought I said.
That's what like, nigga, what?
So just like my favorite artist eat vagina. Like, okay, me too.
Yes, I'm your favorite artist. Anyway, check this out though. So when you say right now, you mean like that came out in the past like couple years, or just like who am I listening to?
You right now.
Yeah, right now.
Who am I listening to? That's because those are two different questions. Because like I listen to.
Who are you listening to right now? Who are you listening to right now? Yeah.
So right now I'm listening to a lot of Boogie, not a Boogie, but Boogie from.
That's my nigga. That's one of my favorite artists.
I'm listening to a lot of Boogie, a lot of I'm in on West Coast kind of heavy actually for some reason. I don't know why. Because it's not on purpose. Yeah, it is burning up on here. Boogie, Problem, Roddy, because people think he's from Atlanta, but he actually from Compton. Damn, yeah, it's real West.
Roddy Rich is that nigga. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
y'all. Like
West.
that.
Is that who you were talking about, Roddy Rich?
Roddy.
Yeah, Roddy.
Oh, you just say Roddy like you're on first name basis.
Oh, that's just like,
My man was like, Prince, he was Roddy. I was like, okay, I don't know that artist, but okay.
yeah, no, like Roddy Rich.
Okay, Roddy Rich.
And then the R&B, of course, Brent.
Fayaz.
Ain't it Fayaz?
I thought it was Fayaz.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, shit. I've never heard him say his name. I never heard him say his name. So shit, like, you know.
She gonna be staring out the window for a long time, yo.
We'll bring her back in. Your laugh is so fucking evil, bro.
It's so evil. Like, look at him. Like, she practiced, like.
Oh my god.
That evil shit, yeah.
Y'all.
Evil too.
Tell me I'll bring it back. But, yeah, shit. And then
It's hot.
it is burning up.
My
yo.
pores.
Your pores? Is that
Yeah,
what
they're opening up when you get hot.
I love
That
y'all.
corona going around.
Is it the shot?
We not.
It might be.
Honestly, probably.
Shots. You don't want to take another shot?
The shot. The one shot.
It
That's
took
all.
No, y'all don't understand.
It took that 3 shots. I mean 3 sips. You know,
I'm a
shot.
baby. God damn.
Okay.
But no,
Why
I'm
you like
good.
going through
I'm
it,
good.
boy?
I'm just high.
Artists right now. Who you listen to?
What did I just get done listening to? Let's see.
Oh.
Super honest. Super let's say.
Oh, Janae.
Please stop playing
Yes,
with
yes,
So
me.
Janae, I
well,
bitch.
that's hitting some Uzi, some Baby, some
Yo, you're in my
Bieber,
mind.
some A Boogie.
You have to.
Another Boogie.
I love A Boogie.
I like A Boogie
I
a
love
lot,
him
but
so
I just
much.
like Boogie more. Pause.
And then
Yeah.
Tory Lanez. I feel like
That nigga put out some music. He got a big ass forehead though, but he put out some fire ass music.
He does. He has
We
a lot
stay
on his
lit,
head.
all that shit. Man, little baby, we all that shit. But yeah, I like him too. I know what you're thinking, just
So,
don't
so
know.
let me ask y'all something.
Damn, ain't nobody. Never mind, go ahead.
How do y'all find y'all new music? Like, where do y'all look for new music, or does it just stumble across?
I used to
y'all?
go on hotnewhiphop.com every day. Every single day. And then now it's just Apple Music got me locked in. You know, with the For You, they do the little new music mix.
So
They do
it's
the
a For You
favorite.
shit,
Yeah. Do I go out searching for music no more? No. I got
I
lazy
mean,
with
like,
it.
well,
I
that's
got
fine,
lazy
man.
with it. But then we live in Atlanta, so new
It
music will
finds
find you.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
new music
It
will
finds
find
you.
you. So
As if it's somebody tell you.
yeah.
So for me, I tend to get in. It's crazy because I love music. I love all genres of music, but I tend to go through many. I don't want to call them phases because that sounds like
Crazy.
longer
No,
periods of
that's
time.
okay. It's okay.
But I get in these moods where it's like 1 minute I'm like, hell yeah, we finna shoot up the club type shit, and the next
Yeah.
minute it's like, oh, I love you.
You
You know what I
wanna
mean?
be loved,
no.
So
You
it just,
can love and
it
shoot
just
up the
all
club.
depends. But like, but like for me, sometimes I go through phases where I'm like, I don't even want to listen to new shit right now because I need to know the words. And I'm tired of making up words to songs. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes like, I just want to feel like that is my song, you know? And other times I'm like, okay, maybe I'll go out and maybe I'll look for music. But when I go out and look for music, if I hear a nice song that has like a very uppity vibe to it that I really fuck with, on Apple Music, I guess it's this, not I guess, on Apple Music, it's this option that's basically like create station. And it plays songs around that are catered to that specific artist,
Yeah,
type of song, everything. So I do that occasionally, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't know none of these words. I'ma just listen to what I know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or a lot of times if there's a new album, like Meg Thee Stallion's new album that came out, I'll sit there and I'll do 10-second increments of the song. I'll learn the words. So like, oh, this is a new song, but I'm gonna learn it today. And I'll just add it to the queue of songs that I know.
You know, you can just hit
Gotcha.
hit us.
Yeah.
You
No,
can.
she got her process, yo.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Second interval. I was like,
I do
Right.
sometimes, but a lot of the time when I listen to my music, I'm in the car. So I just, first 10 seconds, rewind it. First 10
You
seconds.
just want to know that.
Now she's an artist. Like, I gotta get it down. I gotta learn
You
this.
practicing shit.
Yeah.
You don't know more of her lyrics than
Bitch,
she
you
do.
know.
Shit.
And what's so crazy is like, I went to Georgia State for several years. And
I feel that.
Even though it's a PWI, it's still primarily black.
It's a HBCU
So
on a 13-day trial.
Low key, so
I feel like that.
not a shade, low key, but it's like, Nuck If You Buck rings alarms at damn near every program. So I just learned that shit a month ago. But I did it.
You just learned Nuck If You Buck.
Yeah, we knocking it. No,
I just never wanted people to.
What about Johnny Hips? You know that song? You know that?
no, I knew the song. I just didn't know the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
So I learned the lyrics.
You didn't want to be that one person when they killed.
I said, look, y'all said
I
y'all.
don't want you to think I'm. And you not. I don't want you to think I'm that girl.
I don't mind because it's like,
I'm
no, I don't mind because it's like the Greeks got their shit. They stroll, and I'ma throw these guns and know the lyrics. That's
just how you do it.
That's
Oh, he's done.
heavy.
That's what I'm
So that's just kind of my take on music. I love music. Sometimes I get in like my little rock. I won't say like heavy metal, maybe like soft metal a little bit, you know.
Heavy metal. What is that, though?
The
What
emo
is that
shit, I don't do screamo. And then country. Sometimes it's like that's all I want to listen to, and yeah.
That's how we going along with that. Bad to give your podcast back over. I just wanted to know that. My bad.
No, by all means, ask questions. Ask questions. I think that's awesome.
You're supposed to be playing games.
Do y'all think? Okay, let me ask y'all this. What do y'all feel about infiltration of certain genres? And I say that specifically geared towards the rap industry. I know at some point there was a lot of talk, and I know I bring up Black Twitter community all the time because I think it does play a role in our lives. But I know at some point Black Twitter there was this whole thing around, why is Eminem considered a rapper? Why is he rapping?
Huh?
I know it's stupid, but I never.
that night.
Never.
Everybody like.
Post Malone not a rapper, but
Come on,
that's
guys.
my stance though.
Never heard that.
Never
So
heard
you
that.
guys have
Take my out. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
I will say
Sorry, I'm sorry. That just took me out. It put me in a place.
What does he have to do?
but I think that also
What does he have to rhyme?
plays. I think that also plays a really big role in the pro-Black community, and I think personally that there are levels to pro-Black. You know, a lot of people consider like, oh, well, you can't be
full hotel. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be pro-Black if you're dating a white person. So those pro-Blackers are kind of more like, okay, well, rap is geared toward the urban community. So why is this man trying to come in, cater to the urban community when he's not urban himself?
It's an art form. That's
Are you
what I
talking
feel
about
like.
culture vultures or genre mixing?
I'm talking about genre mixing
Yeah,
specifically.
see, I thought you was gonna go with culture vulture.
That's why
But
I
I don't consider him to be a culture.
No,
vulture.
that's why I asked, because I'm not saying Eminem is a culture vulture. Post Malone definitely is, but I'm not saying Eminem is.
But if y'all wanna get on that topic, you consider Eminem a culture vulture?
No.
No.
Okay.
He on my Mount Rushmore.
But I mean, I guess there's.
I love Eminem. I hate his fucking fans, though. I'm gonna be honest with you, because Eminem got a lot of white fans that don't listen to any other hip hop. And
But that's their niche. So why can't they just enjoy Eminem and be the? Because I think you can separate, you know, being a loyal fan because going back to you have to establish your base of fans and then you branch out from there. You know what I mean? So why can't somebody specifically just love one artist in a genre and not the genre itself?
Oh, they can. They can love one artist in a genre, but they can't speak on the genre.
Yeah, they can't say that they're
You
So
can't-
you're saying you dislike his fans because they just like him but speak on the genre itself?
I don't like people who listen to country, Eminem, and Yelawolf and tell me that 21 Savage isn't a good rapper because he doesn't rap like Eminem.
But to them, because
They don't know what rap
because I
is.
think
Opinions are opinions.
exactly because I think at the end of the day, good specifically when we're talking about art is subjective, is it not?
It definitely is.
Yeah,
The
so
main thing with being a creative, and I feel like music is, when you do a song, I don't even know. Like, okay, I can't say you, I'll say me. When I do a song, I don't even know if I like it until I hear it over and over. If I'm doing something for somebody else, it's my opinion that matters for the end of the day. Like at the end of the day. So somebody else they'll have opinions on your music, but you can't cater to everyone anyways. So I feel like Eminem's base crowd was like a bunch of white people that liked him. I never went to a show, but he's on top 5 all day, every day. I want to consider him a culture vulture.
That's
Now let me ask y'all. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so when speaking of opinions, right? It's a time and place for them. Mm-hmm. Yes or no? Can we say that?
Yes.
Can we say that? I'm asking you.
I don't know. It depends on what you're about to say.
Okay, so I'll continue. You stop me.
Okay. Well, I will say this. I have opinions all throughout the day. I'm pretty sure everybody at this table knows that.
Right.
I think there's a time and place for opinions because I personally hate unsolicited opinions. Like, don't give me your opinion unless I ask for it, please. So I do see both tails of that.
So
that's fair.
So there's a lot of thoughts that people have that they gonna have because that's just how people are. Mm-hmm. But most people try and voice their opinions when they're educated. Let me not say completely educated, but when they at least a little well versed, air quotes, in what the fuck they talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what annoys the hell out of me personally is when if he were to tell me that Eminem is on his top 5. Not mad at him. He could say his Eminem is number 1. Cause he could tell me why. You know what I'm saying? He is well versed in the opinion, in his musical knowledge, his genre. When somebody listens to Eminem and only listens to Eminem and don't even fucking give anybody else a chance because they don't know, or they know but they just refuse to do it because they don't. I've come across a conversation where somebody's like, "Oh, crap is rap," but Eminem, or you can't spell crap without rap or some shit like that. But Eminem is the number 1. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Literally. Because you haven't done your research.
Yeah, right? So that's why I say, man, and this is not all Eminem fans, because people who listen to hip hop, you can't be a fan of hip hop and not be a fan of Eminem. But, or at least recognize
what he's doing and what he's done.
His skill. Or at least recognize his skill.
It's true.
My opinion.
To an extent, and this isn't me shooting down Eminem if you were to say that about any artist, to an extent. Because again, good is subjective, and we're talking about art. Hold on, and we're talking about art and artistry, not technical stuff. We're talking about artistry. So I think skill is, when you're talking about being a rapper, skill is also subjective. Because he can have the nicest flow out there. He has a good flow, but if that's not what my ears recognize as skill to me, I'm gonna say the nigga whack.
Yeah, let me put that on pause. Hold on, put that on pause. Because if I'm playing my instrument, you're not going. Like I'm saying, if I'm playing an instrument and you may like the song,
instruments are different.
No, it's not. Your voice is an instrument,
but also it's the lyrics behind it that people like to pick apart. So, because rap is tiered. There's levels to it.
There's definitely levels
to it. But with music, no, because like with music, if you think about it and you hear an instrument, it's straight across the board. You can play a couple of notes, he can play the same notes. Y'all essentially, with that one particular song that y'all played, have the same skill level.
No, you don't. That's not how instruments work.
What I'm saying is, if you sit here and you have a song, let's say you play Roll, Roll, Roll Your Boat. You follow the notes on the music sheet. You get what I'm saying? You do the same thing. If y'all are going exactly by what the book says, that's across the board.
If your skill is what the book is up to, yeah.
That's what I'm referring to. Rap is completely different.
Not necessarily.
How
Let me
not?
explain to you why. Because when you're looking at an instrument, it's more than just playing notes. You got your aperture, you got your vibrato, you got your.
That's understandable, and that's why I said when you're following
the
book.
But peep game. You got your aperture, you got your lyrics, you got your vibrato, you got your voice inflection, you got your the way you play your staccato, all that shit. That you also actually have staccato in rap. That's all about it. You can even take instruments out. Not even you can't take it out, but you can put a singer in a rapper. We can sing the same things. It's just not gonna be the same skill.
The same lyrics.
We can rap the same lyrics, and I'm a mumble on some words that he don't mumble on, or I'm a articulate some things that he don't articulate. So there is a technical skill when it comes to rapping and rhyming, and then there's a skill when it comes to rhyming words, and then there's a skill with wordplay, like what went over somebody's head. What did you do for the crowd to understand? Like shit, Lil Baby. People don't really consider Lil Baby a lyricist, but I heard one line. I forgot the name of the song. I don't know why. That nigga got lyrics. He said, "There's this one line that I just heard today that I was like, oh shit." She said she loved me to death. I told her to stop breathing. Most people don't even. That shit don't even make sense.
And
that's skill, and you can measure
to you. But what I'm saying is, I can look here. I can sit here, and I'm not. This isn't my opinion on that lyric because I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself. But I can sit here and I can be like, well, essentially, that's an elementary lyric.
Are you a rap fan?
But that's because you.
I'm not, but that's because it's to me, because it's subjective.
I think that goes back to what we're talking about. Remember, you were saying being versed in, because we're like rap fans. Like I am a rap music fan. But like I don't only listen to it. Like I go looking for. I do the history sometimes and stuff like that. So like, when you listen to a new artist, you could like pick apart the skill level just because
but it's catered to what you like and what you listen to.
Yeah, but then
it's the skill you recognize,
and it's because like the history of it and seeing where it's come from and where it's
go ahead.
For restaurants, you have to have a certain whatever the pass, the A, B, C, D,
the health code.
The health code. There's a code that is across the board for every restaurant. And then there's a skill set or a leveling chart, A through F. You fail, you pass. If it's not met, then, or by the restaurant, it's how you grade it. The artist, the form of rap, I feel like is a set thing. Like you have a song, you have your delivery, you have how you put it together, your stanzas, and then over the course of an album or mixtape, whatever, is how you can determine if you're gonna like this person, because you can always switch it up. I feel like if you don't know what you're talking about, if you are not passing the health code, you have to at least know the fucking health code first. Like you can't. It has to meet all these credentials and to be classified.
Because you know a good singer when you hear it, right?
But a good singer to me. So I think there's.
Come on now, there are some mutually agreeable crap singers now. Come on.
Okay, mutually agreeable, but that doesn't mean that I might enjoy a singer and I might think the singer is amazing and you might not. But that doesn't take away from what you think is skillful. What I'm saying is essentially if we're living off this theory that you guys are claiming, that makes the skill of rap white or black. Either you're skillful or you're not. And I say that because at the end of the day, let's pick apart an artist. Name somebody who y'all think is trash, who doesn't have any skill at all. Or
it's hard for me to
very little skill. Well, if you're well versed in the subject, you gotta know somebody who's not that skillful. Someone.
What's the dude that did the song with Kanye?
You talking about Lil Pump?
Lil Pump. I don't think Lil Pump's good at all.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those.
I think he's good at. I think he has one skill.
So let me ask y'all this: does he not have fans?
He does.
So he's skillful to someone. Someone thinks he's an awesome artist.
But they may not like his music. They music like him.
No, time out.
But people bump his music as if it's good shit.
Correct.
They're not.
So people think he's skillful.
He's not. They don't think he's skillful.
Nigga, how you know?
You gotta let me finish what I'm about to say.
This nigga the spokesperson for every damn person out there. Damn.
Peep this, like, yo, I don't have to think you skillful for me to like what you do.
Okay, you might not, but there are people out there who does.
Oh, put it up.
No, you shut your ass up. No, I'm kidding.
What I was thinking of Waka Flocka
just came out in an interview and said he considers himself a whack rapper.
But that's him.
And
millions of fans think
money or dollars from his music, but he considers himself a whack rapper.
And that's because he's a
hold on. Okay, that's fair, but just because hold on, because just because someone thinks that they're not skillful within themselves doesn't mean that takes away from their skill level. Prime example, and I don't know if I've said this to you, but you can ask Kayla. I've been struggling with this podcast because I'm like, I'm not that skillful of a speaker. I can't sit here and host a whole show by myself. That doesn't mean that I don't have the skill for it. That just means that I came out and said I don't. There's a difference.
Let me put you on pause real quick.
Nigga, don't put me on pause. What?
Because peep this out. Speaking and having a podcast are two different things. Rapping and music are two different things. You can rap and be very skillful in rap and can't make a song for shit. You can be a horrible rapper and make an amazing fucking song.
Okay, so
when we look at the skill,
remember Young Berg?
You know he hitmaker, right? You know he's penned like, or he's created
Hitmaker.
his name like, okay,
He's the producer.
The producer hitmaker. That got like
You learned something
that got fucking like he was a horrible. He wasn't skilled as a rapper. He couldn't make a great song. Well, he had like 2 out like per se, but when it came to other people's stuff, he can use that music.
Podcast aside, to go back to my example. So, sorry, y'all. Okay, so just because I might be presumed to be a skillful speaker, or I might meet the criteria to be a skillful speaker, doesn't mean that I consider myself a skillful speaker. You know what I mean? I don't feel comfortable enough in my skill set to go up in front of mass people and talk about even something that I'm passionate about. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't think I'm skilled enough for that.
Okay.
But that doesn't take away from my skill at all. Just because I say something doesn't mean that that's exactly how. You get what I'm saying?
No. The thing I was saying with Waka was, a lot of people have said that about Waka.
And a lot of people have said that he
he's
is
a
skillful.
Rapper. But
he makes good,
even though he makes good music or big songs, it's still you're not on the caliber skilled of a good rapper.
You would never say Waka is as good as
somebody says good rapper.
Jay-Z
you're gonna say Jay-Z. You're gonna say
Nas,
you're gonna say Kendrick. You're gonna say these
Cole,
are
Drake
rappers.
And Drake is one of the rarest people who was a good rapper and a good song maker.
And a great artist.
A lot of, you know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of great rappers who are good.
And a wonderful soul. I love Drake. Drake, where are you?
Sorry. but like there's also 2 different levels. Because Lil Pump, he's not a skilled rapper, but Gucci Gang is a good song because that shit sticks in your head so quick.
Which he may not have even wrote.
But it's a good
let's get
song,
on that topic.
I still think skill is subjective, especially in the art industry, because, and I'm gonna let you finish, I just want to say,
Picasso shit ugly.
but okay, but what I'm saying is I think it's subjective in the art industry specifically because there's no outline for skill. You don't sit here, you can't go, you don't go to a school and there's like, okay, well you have to meet boom 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 to be considered skillful. I don't think skill. Hold on. I don't. Shut your ass. Listen. I don't think. Listen. I don't think art, music included, is a black and white. Either you're skillful or you're. It's my personal opinion, and if y'all want to stick to whatever y'all gotta say, that's cool. It's my personal opinion that skill can be subjective.
No, I technically agree with you. Let me tell you why. Skill itself. What you do with that skill is art. That's subjective. But the skill that you have is not. You either have it or you can practice it, you can work on it. That is your skill. That's not subjective. That's what you have, actual, factual, what you can do. Now, what you do with what you have, that's subjective. That's the art. That's why I say it's a difference between rapping and music.
But what I'm saying is how
do we measure this skill thing? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, that's what. So how is it a universal? These groups of people are skillful and these groups of people are not. When you have several different people that they cater to, you know what I mean? It might not be skillful to you because that's not what you're into. That's not what your ears hear, but it might be skillful to the next person who this is what they live for. This is up their alley. This is their shit.
You're talking about art. You're not talking about skill.
But there's skill behind art or some level thereof. You just said it.
But with the lack thereof, like some people shit is good because it's so simplistic. Some people shit is so good because it's very intricate. You have artists like Kendrick, or Pharrell, or Jay-Z, to where it's like, yo, there's a lot of layers behind it. He's not just rapping. And then you have artists that are Lil Pump, Lil Yachty, Lil Baby. Like some people just think it's mumble. Even Thug had to grow on me. Because I was like, what the fuck is going on?
You have to read those lyrics. No, you really didn't. You gotta
study that shit.
Past the captions, is he freestyling? That adds another.
Oh, that adds another.
Yes.
Did he write this?
That's another layer.
Is he reading? he do this right now? Did he come back and do it? And then there's people like Kendrick
Then how did he
and
switch
J.
this
Cole,
flow?
right?
Boom, skill. How did he?
They come back to
fluctuate that voice right there.
I
Boom,
guess those
skill.
are the notches that we're talking about for skill.
There's-
But you're
there's
saying
a lot.
like
But
those
you're
type of
But
things.
also,
not
that's for
completely
your
exempt.
ears.
Like, okay, Jay-Z doesn't write anything at all, neither does Wayne. Does that mean that the only way you can be better than them is to not write anything at all if you're gonna go past them? No.
But some people can argue, and because this is what y'all's eyes and ears are trained to, some people can argue if you write, that's not skill because and I'm not arguing this, but I'm saying this can be some people's perspective. If you write, that's not skill. That's just you putting thought into it. So there's another door of something. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what someone's eyes and ears are
But that's
trained
what I'm talking
to.
about being versed in,
And that's-
in what you.
It's not a matter of being versed. It's not at that point. It's not a matter of being versed. It's saying someone can literally say, "I'm not saying they're right, nor am I saying they're wrong," but someone can say, "Oh, you just wrote all that shit? Give me a month, and I can do that easy." And granted, you might disagree, but at the end of the day, that opens up another door for what's considered skillful, what isn't.
Well, how fast you can do something?
No, I'm just saying, like, some people can say, if you write shit, it don't matter what you wrote. It's not skill because you wrote it. When you're talking
But
about rap.
that's opinions. But skill and all that stuff is based off opinions anyway.
Nigga, what? That's exactly what I've been trying to say. And you said skill is not opinion. It's written into the mantra.
That's where it came
Masses.
from.
If you think you are lightweight,
Let's run this shit back and watch this episode.
Hold on, because I know where you're going with it. Hold up.
No, but y'all about to listen to me all for real.
Peep game. Hold on. You know how? Hold on.
Y'all really have just debunked everything
No,
I
you
said
did not
to come
debunk
back
nothing.
full circle to what I've been saying.
You said
But you feel me though, right? We gonna run that shit
No,
back.
peep game. Let me explain. Let me because I feel.
Y'all listen, I got to read my own show.
Wait, hold up.
Y'all listen.
No, because I know what you're saying. I know what both y'all are saying, but peep game. Because peep game, yo, you got. How do you get into certain schools, right? How do you like? You have a panel of people who have been writing essays or whatever the fuck their whole life, and so from their experience, their opinions, they determine this is a skillful essay, right? Boom. You think your essay was off the fucking chain. They was like, nah, you didn't hit X, Y, and Z criteria for the skill. So you saying where the criteria come from? Years of people rapping, years of people doing music, years of people really understanding how to do
I
shit.
liked it, or
But
my
it's
mom
not-
liked it.
That's
That's where all criteria comes from.
It's that. It's
But
that
okay,
standard.
that same
Of the opinion
essay,
of
right?
masses.
So even with essays, a lot of it is opinionated. You can have MLA format, cited all your motherfucking sources, this, that, and the third, and somebody could still consider your shit trash.
Yes.
But the next person can think it's the best shit since sliced bread.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying. Is a lot of times skill assessment is based off of opinionated shit anyway.
Then you saying we should throw away grades then?
If it's not true, false, literally right or wrong in the book, a lot of your grades come from your teacher's opinions, especially in creative classes such as writing.
Okay.
But there's still a standard from that. Like if it
Yes,
says-
but even outside of that standard, there's still a lot of factors that contributed. Look, we done talking about this because you just said, motherfucker, that skill was based off of opinion.
It is.
Okay.
Experts.
Go ahead.
Experts' opinions.
But it's
You
still
have to- wait,
opinionated.
But you have to be that nigga. You can't
can't be a random
feminism. I don't know.
That's a very good fucking point.
We
I'm
ain't get
not
to that
an
episode yet. God damn.
I'm not an expert, but if we talk about music, I have some notches to where I should know what I'm talking about.
Because of
You
the experience I did.
are just a connoisseur of music. You haven't seen the business side, you haven't seen the recording process, you haven't seen this. You can have any opinion that you want.
But what if I'm talking about
But
lyricists?
even lyrics, you can have.
I can write down my own. I can write down my own lyrics tomorrow.
It's not
Great.
personal. What's that?
Great.
Just say it.
But still, when it comes to the knowledge of your professor versus a student, you're coming to the class for a reason. You're asking the opinion for a reason.
But that is very true, and I'm not saying that's wrong. But my whole point, if y'all want to rewind it a little bit, run this shit back, was it's based off of opinion. I don't give a damn if it's your daddy opinion, your mama opinion, your sister opinion, your professor's opinion. It's still opinion at the end of the day. And that was my initial claim. So case in point.
American Idol has the opinion of all these people. There's been plenty of people that didn't make the show or didn't continue forward when everyone was like, yo, but she was hard, or he was dope. And the judge said, you've got to go. I'm sorry. It's still someone's opinion. But whose opinion matters?
It's still someone's opinion.
That's with everything, though.
Yeah,
so why are we having this conversation?
Because you was this big
that is what I just said. What, 40 minutes ago? 30?
The opinion, I think what we boil down to is the opinion of the experts, the opinion of the masses.
What we boil down to is the opinion.
All right.
The opinion is always going to be there.
The opinion is everything is opinionated.
Everything.
Even the thing that we think is factual is opinionated.
These are all of our opinions right now.
The opinion. So why y'all ganging up on me and going so hard
because
about how skill? No. Skill is set in stone. Skill is da. But it's based off of opinion, baby.
It's measured.
But it's measurement. The measurement is opinionation.
And so is your skill.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next.
All right.
This shit's gotten off the rails. So.
Well, that concludes.
That's how we're gonna end. Ouch.
I would want to end on like a brief Mount Rushmore of rappers. That's what I wanted to end on.
Ooh.
But I don't even know. Are you guys even that much rap
Well, apparently
fans?
I'm very illiterate
definitely.
in this topic, so I'm just gonna.
What are you talking about?
Back.
Is this what you do? You mark them up there?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
No, I don't feel. I don't.
I feel like you're trying to kick us out, so let's.
I don't feel comfortable.
I was like,
Nigga said I'm just watching it.
we gotta go.
What's
I
up,
think
man?
he's being for real. He wasn't joking. Okay, but go ahead.
What happened? What's the
So Mount Rushmore.
I'm gonna let you start because
Artists.
shit. Can we just do like top 10 or something? Mount Rushmore is 4.
I know.
That's a big narrow down. That's hard.
Man.
You gotta pick one from every region, basically.
Oh, I'll start.
Okay, go start with that.
Lil Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
J. Cole.
Okay.
I have to say it because I have a tattoo.
Got
Lil
two people
Pump.
from the
No,
Drake.
Okay.
Cause
Drake has to be on my Mount
Two
Rushmore.
people from the south, one from the north.
Ooh. This is one spot left.
That's why I said, can we do like a top 10? Because you just you forgot a lot.
I know.
And okay, question. Because Mount Rushmore is usually like influence based, not skill based. So what are you going off of?
Can we do the one off Naruto where they just add heads?
The fucking Hokage summon and shit.
Who's the rap Kage?
I don't know what I'm going off of. I guess
Yeah, because that's your
my personal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I can't think of my fourth one right now. Like a toss
Would it
up.
have-
Oh,
does it have to
it's
be
usually
one?
probably Kanye West.
Kanye?
Yeah.
Okay, I can deal with that. Okay,
It's not bad.
yeah.
You said
It's very new.
Weezy,
Yeah.
Kanye,
I'm glad Wayne was on there.
Weezy,
Wayne, J. Cole.
Cole, and Drake.
Yeah.
Cole, you put Cole on Mount Rushmore already?
That's nice.
Dude.
Not
Yeah, I'm in Jermaine. My hand Jermaine.
I'm not talking about skill. I'm just asking because you know his skill is immaculate. Like
Yeah.
he's definitely a top 10 already. But
Yeah.
But he.
I've seen him in concert.
Some nice shit.
I've been blessed. So
I think that's also a big piece of
Yeah.
it too.
production,
Yeah, and performance.
Production.
Production and performance.
Yeah.
Showmanship, like all of that.
Do you know who's gotta be on mine just from production? Travis. Travis Scott, I think is.
I think
He's a Kanye child.
I think they
Yeah.
paved the way.
That's
He
why I was
also
like,
gave Kanye a lot of his sauce.
That's true, but
Like-
but that's why I say
I'm surprised they put Jay on mine instead of J. Cole.
Jay,
But,
no,
you know,
Jay is.
Jay is
definitely
a
on
Mount
mine.
Rushmore, I know, but
because you gotta think of like a
Total package.
complete rapper. Shit, because you gotta go. What my Mount Rushmore would be based off of would be skill as a rapper.
she over that word. No, she blanked out.
She's already.
Influence, like, cause you know, Kid Cudi, to me, probably has like the greatest influence. I think a lot of the influence comes out of the South and the Midwest, but they don't really produce the best rappers.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a nigga who was born in Chicago and raised in Atlanta. I'm nothing but, I tell people I'm from Georgia, Illinois. Like, I'm nothing but those two regions, but I feel like they had the most influence. And then like, what did you do for the culture? Because it's different to be influenced and doing stuff for the culture. So that's why I'm asking, like, why Cole? That's just how I see.
To you, just
yeah, that's how I see.
What was the rest of them on yours?
Oh, I didn't even say mine yet. I just wanted to know what, like, if Cole would fall under that.
But Cole has I feel like he has an impact.
Oh, shit, my bad. Oh, so we just listen to this and popping.
But I feel like he has like an impact on just the Dreamville tip, like all those artists that he's like, bringing up and like how he's supporting in North Carolina and things he do. So I feel like Cole's just out of the media. So like influence, you would just have to look for his influence. You know what I mean? It's not in your face because he's not on the social medias and stuff like that.
Okay.
But Mount Rushmore, so we can get out of here.
Okay, shit. Damn, this is Mount Rushmore is hard. So I'm gonna rock with. I'm just gonna take one from every region.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Ice Cube from the West, and then I'm gonna rock with Jay-Z. Fuck kind of question? Go ahead. I'm rocking with Jay-Z. Then I'm going with Kanye. Oh, that's hard. I'm gonna go with Kanye. I wish I could put Kanye and Cudi together. And then from the South, I'm gonna go ahead and say, shit, man. God damn, that's a lot in the South. Fuck. I'm gonna put Wayne and Gucci Mane like together. I can't split them two like, cause it's really Birdman, but I don't think Birdman got no skill. Right. But Wayne, everybody wanted to sound like Wayne. Everybody in trap, even though trap came from T.I., the trap that's today is the Gucci trap. Like T.I. definitely created trap, but people took it and wanted to sound like Gucci with it. Yeah. So that's what I'm just gonna rock into.
Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Travis, Pharrell.
As a rapper? He raps, but
hey, that's my Rushmore. That's my Rushmore.
I'm trying to listen.
Okay.
My nigga, like.
He's definitely probably the best producer to ever do it. Him, Tim, and Kanye.
Timbo.
But rapping. Skateboard P? Think about it, take a second.
Hey,
that one verse put you up there?
And nerd. I mean, that's not rap, but what would you consider that?
I'm trying.
It's techno. We supposed to wrap this up, bro. We don't have to say
Okay, so.
You really gonna stay away from it?
I'm very fluid in a lot of things. So my opinion changes every day when it comes to certain artists and rappers. So
I'll let you.
Who would be your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, I wouldn't
today.
Yeah.
2020.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Somebody just put it up.
Really, because of 2020 might be the baby, the baby.
Meg Thee Stallion.
The baby. Who's the best? And
your opinion is valid.
And A Boogie. That would be like.
I know it's valid. Oh, you ain't gotta. Look, I know that. I know that much, baby. But I'm just fluid. So.
I like water.
Yeah. But I like a lot of artists. It's really just what comes up on my playlist, and I can pop my coochie too. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, the coochie poppers are important.
Tell me more about this coochie pop.
Okay, anyway, so we're going to leave on that. So we're gonna leave on that note. Did you guys want to plug anything? Well, plug yourselves. I know you guys have plenty to plug.
Orlando.
Y'all are artists.
I would like to plug.
Okay.
What we talking about? But
okay.
Alright, so on all social medias, official icon, ICON, icon with 2 eyes. Kick That New Music is out now. It's doing pretty well. Have Fun Challenge, y'all hopped on that. It's doing a lot better than I expected. So just keep that momentum up. And yeah, that's really it. Just icon, ICON on all streaming platforms. Y'all find me. You'll love it.
Yeah. Dope.
Oh, I was hyping you up. Y'all find that shit. J 2 times, JAY.
2 times?
I, like the Roman. Everybody think is.
Oh yeah, I definitely looked away from the camera.
JAY, TIMES. It's all one word, J 2 times. We got the most recent one is Trying Too Hard. Got my kids on there.
So cute.
Hey, Naya and Noah.
Aww.
Gotta plug them.
Yeah. That's what's up. Kickback Music 2 dropping in August.
Hey,
look out for that shit.
Well, again, we definitely thank you all for coming on to the CoLab podcast. And we'll see y'all soon.
It was beautiful.
And we're out.
We're out.
Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Where we gonna find this joint at? Where can I look?